Oh, goodness. See how this is going today. Oh, make sure we got my chair right. Make sure this lighting is right. Like it. I'm not my face like this. Well, my face look a little dark. Too light. And I don't like this. I know y'all. Hello. Hello there. How are you? Okay. welcome to Say It Larry J Live. How are you doing on this? I almost like to say a Monday, but Monday some of us was off. I hope you enjoyed your long holiday weekend. Some of you, probably wind down, rested. Some of you had to work, make that extra money, that time and a half. So I hope you enjoyed your weekend. So welcome again to Say It Larry J Live. Did I say it Larry J Live? Yeah, I did. Say it Larry J Live. So come on in, make yourself at home. Grab your chair, make sure you're comfortable on your sofa, make sure you have whatever your preference of choice to drink, and your dinner ready and everything. And we are going to kick this show off. I hope you all are having a happy Tuesday. We're close. We're close. We're close. Because tomorrow is what they call hump day. Hump day. So welcome. So tonight we will be talking about branding and a little bit of the intro to building your resume. Because right now it's October, so many of the companies they're actually completing their budgets for next year. So some companies may not be hiring like other companies are. So this is the time for you to actually be reshifting your resume to see how you want it when you apply for different jobs. But reason named the segment intro to your resume because a resume is more to it than just writing out some words and just throwing it up there and hitting submit. Because when you just throw up some words and hit submit, then you may get that rejection letter back that says, unfortunately, we decided to go with other candidates whom skill sets fits the qualifications. So it takes some thought. I will give you a little bit or probably a lot about my background. One of the courses I did take in undergrad, yes, I did go to school. One of them, it was a required class and it was career development. And career development, it wasn't an elective class, it was a class that I had to have to graduate. Because the school that I went to, I had hands-on training along with book learning as well. So this class, it taught how to build resumes, mock interviews, writing cover letters, thank you letters, and references. And at the same time, I actually had to go see the career advisor, and there were some jobs I actually applied for as well. But then when I go back, before I went to college, even when I was in high school, I actually got my first job at Burger King. And some of you may look at Burger King as, oh, they're just flipping burgers, but the Burger King that I worked at, they required excellence. That means you could, if you had your uniform had to be freshly clean when you come in each and every day that you were scheduled to work. Your uniform and your apron could not have food stains on it from the day previous to. You're nasty. You're nasty. So they would not require. They would send you back home. You had to be to work on time. I am going somewhere with this conversation because it's going to tie together. You had to be to work on time. So that Burger King taught me a lot when it came to management, work ethic, and professionalism, how to talk to people and how to say things and what you say, being on time to work as well. So now I say all of that to say, when coming to build your resume, first of all, you need to think about your brand. Who are you? What type of person you are? When people see you, like for example, my resume, I have 10 plus years of experience. So my resume speaks for itself because my resume is me and your resume is you. So if you go on those people job and you get the line, you get the roll, they tell you, they give you a job schedule, for example, and it's supposed to be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you roll out the red carpet and you only get there around about 9 o'clock. You don't call, you don't let them people know nothing, but you walks up in there, good morning, everyone, good morning, as if you own the company. That is a part of your branding. And a part of your branding reads out, you're not dependable, you're not trustworthy, and you think you entitled, and you think them people gonna refer you to somebody else. You think them people gonna actually refer you to another job. This is part of your branding. I determine how I want people to see me based upon my brand, even individually. When people see me, do they see a kind person? Do they see a friendly person? Or they see a nasty Grinch walking by? Because if people see a nasty Grinch walking by, more than likely they're not going to want to hire you. Your attitude go into your interview, and the people can tell it. People can tell whether you pleasant. Now don't get the pleasant part twisted, because sometimes I use my pleasant part for my advantage. I use my being pleasant and polite, and some people they may, it may come off as misleading because I come off to some people as a pushover. Ain't no punks over here, but yeah, some people I come off as a pushover. So when you brand yourself, you want people to see you in a good light. You see, like, oh, this light here. You see everything back here in a good light. And plus the light that's in front of me. Then we're gonna get some more lights. And the lights that's up there too. So you see everything in a good light. And that's how you want people to see you when you're branding. I will utilize, for example, we know Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is known for their superb customer service. It is known across the board. Not you go to this Chick-fil-A and you get ghetto. You go to this one, you get no, you go to each Chick-fil-A, you get the superb customer service. Now some people, many people, let me say many people have their biases for Chick-fil-A because of the different reasons. And some of you all may know what those different reasons are. But that's their brand. Their brand outweighs some of the other fast food restaurants whom you may go to, and you may get this ghetto fabulous. I can't even say ghetto fabulous. It's just straight up ghetto hood ratchet services when you go there. So they define who they are brand. Like when I brand myself, I make sure when I go in these folks' job that I get there on time. I make sure when they ask me to do things, I do it. When they ask me to do things to help management and leadership, I do it because that's an opportunity for me. I'm handing myself, I'm putting myself out there. I don't go on these people jobs saying that ain't my job, that ain't my description, that ain't in my job bracket. Because see, now you're branding yourself as a negative concept. And when you are branding yourself like that, then people don't want to work for you. Then you wonder why the manager don't come and ask you to do anything. Because you just giving him some toxic energy. Don't come ask me nothing. I'm not doing jack. Don't bother me. And then you wonder why. Well, how come they promoted Tony over there? He just got up because Tony set himself up and he branded himself very good. He came in to work on time. Whatever the manager asked him to do, he did it. Even though if he did have certain questions or problematic situation, he came with solutions. He wasn't always the problem. And then that's how Tony got the promotion because he branded himself. And you did too as well. You branded yourself like, don't bother them. They got a nasty attitude. You go ask them what you want. Didn't they send you to training for that? You've been on this job for 3 months. You still don't know. You branding yourself. You have to be mindful of that. You want to determine what type of job you're applying for, because resumes are a bit different than back in the day. Back in the day, they used to just walk up in a company and, are you hiring? And the person said, well, oh, well, Joe over there, he hiring, but come back between about 2 or 3, and no, make it 1 and 3, because that way he ain't busy. I let him know you came by, so that way here, take the application, fill it out. So they would fill out the application, come back between 2 and 3, and usually Joe just hired you on the spot. Now the time has changed, because now they have a defense mechanism called the recruiters. They sift through your resume, and if your resume is not matching towards the job qualifications, they kick it out. Or they may put it in a not interested pile, should I say. You have the go pile and the not go pile. They may put it in the not go pile. And if the manager decide, well, let me look at some of those resumes, your resume could potentially get looked at. But most of the time, that don't usually happen unless that manager asks for that. So when you're doing a resume, and we're going to more than likely pick up into the resume part of building the executive summary, you want building your resume, you want to make sure you're building your resume correct. You want to make sure, if you say you are going to be a teacher and you're applying for a teacher job, and I'm using that for example, you want to make sure your resume outline fits the description of being a teacher. Not you applying for a teacher job and you have up here you worked at McDonald's, you have up here that you have worked in the farmer's market, you have up here where you have worked, did lawn services. What do they have to do with the price of tea in China? What do they have to do with the price of tea in China? No, you want to make sure you outline your resume, and you want to make sure those qualifications, even if you pull different qualities from different positions, such as if you worked a customer service job and they had you train people, you can utilize some of that experience on your resume. And we will get into the executive summary part, which I will have to go into another detailed part about, because some people don't know how to do a resume. So that's why you don't just throw a resume together and you submit it. You want to carefully look at the job description, and you want to carefully craft out your resume, or should I say more tailor made. You're tailoring your resume to the position that you are going for. But there are some key components to look for when you're tailoring out your resume, because you just don't use the same resume for different jobs. Because like I said, there's a difference than back in the day. See, back in the day, you could just use a resume. You got basic resumes, you got professional resumes, then you have the little normal resumes. You can always Google how a resume looks, but you might want to understand how to actually apply and utilize when I will say no, I won't. No, let me take that back. I won't say utilize. You want to understand the resume that you're submitting, so it doesn't look like you actually falsifying the resume, because some people just put together stuff, and then your resume need to make sense. It need to make sense to the recruiter, because if it don't make sense, if I'm the recruiter and your resume don't make sense to me, that means I'm not finna bring nobody in this company. You don't make sense. You gonna come up in my company, you gonna jack it up because you don't make sense? No. So it has to make sense. And I say again, everyone do not know how and understand how to do a resume, because you have some people. I'll use for example, it was one time I was actually wasn't working. See how I carefully choose my words? I wasn't working at the time. So I went to the Georgia Department of Labor, because I am in Georgia. And there was a man, he was in there, and I was actually doing my resume because I wanted to post it online. And I was not like in the outside lobby part of the Georgia Department of Labor. I was more like behind the office scenes, because we had to do our resume. But there was a young man, well, I won't say he was young, because he was at least He was like 45, 50, 55 in that range. And I felt sorry for him because he had been working his job for like 20, 25 years and he was laid off. Poor thing. So he was laid off, but he was frustrated. He was so frustrated. I mean, I could see the steam shooting from his head. He was so frustrated. And he was frustrated because he didn't understand about doing no resume. And I was observing him. So that's how I actually knew. He was frustrated. So the lady that was trying to help all 40 of us, I wasn't asking for help because I'm familiar with doing a resume. Because just in case, just to let some of you all know, I have over probably like 30 or 40 resumes. And I've hoped people get resumes, and I didn't charge them. Now, don't some of y'all come and ask me about doing a resume, and I'm not charging because I charge now, and it's not no $5 and $10 either, nor 20. So the guy, he was sitting there, he frustrated, steam shooting out his head. I thought his head was gonna blow up. It was steam was shooting out his head. So he was frustrated because he wanted this lady that had like these 30, 40 people in here to stop helping all these people. And he wanted TLC, tender loving care. He wanted the intimacy of her to help him do his resume. So it wasn't more so he was frustrated because he didn't know how to do one. He was frustrated also because he didn't understand the basics of computers, because she was telling him about on Microsoft Word. Yes, I'm giving you, there's a feature on Microsoft Word that you can actually do a basic resume. I would not recommend that if you are going for more advanced positions. I recommend more your professional resume, which you have to Google what a professional resume looks like. So he was frustrated because he couldn't even pull up that. And I understood his frustration. I understood. Seemed like I'd be getting tongue-tied. Oh, okay. So he was frustrated because he didn't understand computers. And by the way, let me stop and put a little insert right here. For those of you that may not understand computers, and you may not understand the way the job market is going right now, as you can tell, a lot of things are going virtual learning and Zoom, Skype meetings and everything else, online businesses and everything else. And if you don't have the basic fundamentals of the cyber world, you may want to consider investing in some computer classes. Microsoft Office, Outlook, Visio, Excel, Word, Access, and learning how to go through virtually, learning how to do Skype. So you won't get left behind in the dinosaur ages. It was a reason why they came up with the Flintstones and the Jetsons. So back to the story. He was actually frustrated because he didn't understand the computers, and I could tell he didn't, because it was just frustrating him. And I thought he was gonna take these people keyboard, and I thought he was gonna bash it to the desk because he was coming close, because he was picking it on. Let me quit for I've been knock my laptop over. So he was actually pecking the keyboard, and he was frustrated because he still didn't get the rhythm of how to do a resume. He didn't even know where to begin, and that's why I'm starting off this intro to building a resume. You would get some of the components before I jump into the executive summary part, which I will do resume building 1, more than likely Thursday at 7 p.m. Hopefully it's something that don't spiral pops up and I have to change the topic. But mostly I will try my best to do resume building part 1 of the executive summary. So he didn't know where to begin. He didn't know how to create. He didn't know anything about no pointers. He didn't know anything like what to do, because I've been on my job for 25 years. So what am I supposed to do with a resume? I'm not used to this. So that's what I mean. Everyone do not know or have those basic fundamentals like some of us. So that's why I have to treat the segment that I'm actually doing like everybody, which I know some of you already know how to do a resume, don't know how to do a resume. So again, I will be coming back, and I hope these little snippets help someone out there, because again, everyone don't know how to do a resume. Some people don't understand how a resume is supposed to flow, how many pages a resume is supposed to flow, depending on the type of job you get, how many pages you can have. And I'm going to try my best to cover all of that because sometimes, different things will pop up that's going on in the United States of this America. And I may just change the topic, but I'm going to try to stick to the topic though. So if you tune in Thursday at 7 p.m., I will be talking about, hopefully, resume building one, the executive summary. And just to give you, well, no, I don't want to spill it. It's really, I won't say, I could get up here and say it's simple, but it's easy. But to some people, it's not simple and easy. When you actually teaching or training someone, you can't say, oh, you should already know that. It's simple and easy. No, it's not simple and easy to everyone. So until then, enjoy your night. And thank you for joining Say It Larry J. Should I say live? Should I say live? Huh? Oh. Yeah, thank you for choosing Say It Larry J. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, that little bell that lets you know when I come on live. And the share button. Again, for the time being, I come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. So make sure you tune in because I do this to educate and empower, motivate, and inspire people to get up off your buttocks and do what you're purposed to do in life. So if that's actually changing your job, maybe applying for a new job, you should be equipped. And by the time you get finished listening to all of these resume segments, oh, and we haven't even begun to get into the interview segments because that's gonna be a different bull that we're gonna be tackling because some of the things I have seen in interviews and some of the things that people wear, like they just got off of a strip pole. So until then, I will see you all live again at 7 p.m. Thursday. And I'm going to try to come back and be talking about resume building dash the executive summary. What you want to cover and what you want to have in there when you're doing your executive summary and how you can go about masterfully building one. But really, to tell you the truth, the steps is I'm going to give you, they're practically, I'm not going to say they're easy, but I'm going to hand it to you like it's easy. So until then, enjoy your Tuesday night. Whatever you have planned, you have a great night. And thank you so much for tuning in to Say It Larry J.